It can be difficult to come up with cash at short notice for an emergency. Fewer and fewer people have secure jobs and savings accounts to rely on during tough times or unexpected circumstances. Fortunately, there are still ways to scrape together necessary funds quickly. 1. Advertise your services. Build your own website or post on online pages such as Craigslist. Specify in your advertisement what types of jobs you can do: home repairs, plumbing, electrical work, yard work, cleaning, etc., what you charge, and when you are available. Provide multiple ways to contact you. If you can be reached by both phone and email, you might have a better chance at getting work. 2. Build your potential customer base. Speak to nearby friends and neighbors first. Tell them that you need money and are willing to do light housework and yard work in the area. Ask them to tell their friends and neighbors too, and recommend your services. Your neighbors and friends may very well end up being your first customers. Be sure to tell them to spread the word that you do good work when you're finished. 3. Charge reasonable rates for your work. The main reason someone might consider hiring you over a professional service is that you're a lot less expensive. Ask for a small amount of money that you can live with, rather than a large sum. A good way to estimate what to ask for is to set a low hourly rate, say $8 or $10. Also, prorate your work to the nearest half hour. In other words, if you work for 6 hours and 33 minutes, just bill for 6 hours and 30 minutes. That keeps things simple. 4. Act professionally. Dress in clean clothes and smile when people answer their doors. Offer a handshake when you introduce yourself. Make eye contact. Be sure to describe exactly what types of services you offer, whether it's small home maintenance, yard work, cleaning, etc. Be willing to do jobs on weekends and evenings. Return calls and job offers quickly and promptly. 5. Bring your own equipment. If you have specialized equipment you can bring, such as a toolbox for house repairs or a rake for leaves and grass, bring it with you. Heavier items like ladders and lawnmowers can be left at home, but be sure to mention you have access to your own. Don't accept jobs that you don't have the equipment to complete. 1. Think about what your skills are. You might be able to find a short-term job more easily if you have certain skills. 1. Bookkeeping and accounting jobs are often short-term or temporary. If you have skills as a bookkeeper, you can often find a well-paying position on a short-term basis. Offices and human resource departments often look for part-time workers when they have an increase in paperwork or filing. If you have tech skills, some firms or websites may hire on a short-term basis. 2. Check the local listings for short-term jobs. The online marketplace Craigslist features an etc. category under the jobs heading. Local newspapers also often carry advertisements for quick, temporary work. Check everywhere you can and think about what you're able to do. Take a job as a sign waiver. All kinds of businesses hire sign waivers to stand outside for 8 or 10 hours and wave a large sign at passing cars. Used car lots, payday loan stores, and furniture stores in particular use this marketing technique and often pay in cash at the end of the day. 3. Participate in studies or surveys. This isn't a reliable way to make a lot of money, but if you're just a few dollars short, it can make up the difference. A Google search will help you find some online surveys. Be sure you qualify for the study before you apply. For example, you won't want to apply for a study that is looking at the effects of smoking if you aren't a smoker. Apply in person to expedite the process. In the case of some surveys, you'll be able to show up and do a paid survey right then and there. Studies usually last longer. 4. Join a temp agency. Temporary work agencies place thousands of employees with daily work. If you have specialized work skills or previous experience in a field, you might have very good luck temping. There are a number of tips to help you get started with an agency. Visit the agency. Tell them you want to work, and follow their instructions. There will usually be an application to fill out, followed by an interview where you go over your work history and qualifications. Bring a resume with you. It will help the temp agency sort out what types of jobs you are qualified for. 1. Think about selling your car. This isn't a practical step for many people, but if you're lucky enough to live somewhere you don't need a car to get to work or the grocery store, you're sitting on a huge mound of cash in the driveway. There are some helpful steps to complete this process. 3. Gather your car's information. Find the title and registration, maintenance receipts and records, and a car history report. Also know the features of your car: CD player, seat controls, etc. 2. Have a yard sale. Advertise it for free on Craigslist, or for a small fee in the local newspaper. Clean and organize everything you intend to sell, and lay it out in front of your house or apartment on the morning of the day of the sale. 4. This approach works best for people who haven't previously sold things for cash out of necessity, and still have a lot of items to sell. People are more interested in bigger yard sales. Price everything slightly high, but be willing to haggle down. Most yard sale items will reasonably sell for 1/3 to 1/2 of the original price, if the item is in good condition. 3. Sell your belongings online. There are 2 basic ways to do this if you need to turn a quick profit: Craigslist and eBay. On Craigslist, post your item for sale in the appropriate section of the site. Be sure to post pictures if you can. People often don't bother with listings that don't have photos attached. Use the word firm if you refuse to haggle on the price. Use OBO to indicate you might be willing to go down on it a bit. On eBay, you can set various time and purchase options, which may have fees attached to them. 4. Sell to a pawn shop. Pawnbrokers are people who will pay cash for just about anything you own that isn't disposable or perishable. Pawnbrokers tend to pay very low amounts and won't haggle. Bring your items with you to the pawn shop. Most pawn shops keep short hours for security reasons, so go before 4 p.m. to be sure you get in. Decide whether or not to accept the offer. Expect to get $60 for a $500 bicycle, and on down the line proportionally. In most cases, you should only visit a pawn shop if you absolutely need money right now and have no other options available, as you won't get a good V. 5. Resell to collectors. There are collectors' markets for just about everything with any cultural significance, from commemorative plates to video games and old toys. If you arm yourself with knowledge, you can make a killing buying items for cheap and selling them to collectors at a profit. Specialize in one type of collectible. You might specialize in retro toys or specialized glassware. Start by seeing what collectibles you already own and build from there. 1. Perform on the street. If you're lucky enough to own an instrument and talented enough, busking is the art of musical street performance. A good busker in a busy spot can make a nice little pile of cash in an hour or 2 of playing. The following are some helpful tips for busking. Get permission. Some cities and communities have ordinances that require a permit or fee for street performance. Choose a good location. Avoid areas where there are other street performers but still have high traffic. Choose busy downtown areas in safe locations as a starter. 2. Collect scrap metal. Iron, steel, and especially copper can be sold to scrapyards by the pound. To make a significant amount of profit, you'll need to bring in quite a few pounds, so be sure you have a vehicle with space for the metal. Look around abandoned lots and derelict buildings for pipes and metal fixtures. Junk bins outside tech and office firms may have bunches of wire or other components that can be sold as scrap. Be very careful if you collect scrap. Wear heavy gloves, bring a partner, and don't hunt for scrap at night. 3. Go rock hounding. There are guidebooks available in most areas that show where valuable rocks can be found. Fossils, geodes, and semi-precious gemstones are all widely available in some areas. Keep in mind though that this may take time to find a collection and might not be a fast solution to your money problem. Learn different gemstone grades. If you're hounding for semi-precious gems, remember that coloration and size can sometimes make them quite valuable. 4. Sell plastic bottles for money. It's possible to collect bottles from other people's recycling and sell them for money. You'll have to collect quite a few of them before you can make a profit, so be prepared to put some effort into this method. You'll also have to find a national recycling buyer that purchases plastic bottles in bulk. A simple Google search should help you find companies that you can work with. 5. Sell you hair. Believe it or not, there is a market for your hair. If you have virgin, non-dyed or treated lengthy hair, you can earn quite a bit of money for it. Your hair is an outgrowth of what goes into you, so if you eat healthy and don't smoke, you can sell your hair for a premium. An online tool exists to tell you how much your hair is worth.